I say that because, funny enough, I also went with a goaltender for a hot take who is on the Buffalo Sabres. So
Okay.
we've got a bit of Sabres talk to finish it off. I know who I'm going to talk about, and that is Eric Comrie, who signed a 2-year contract in the offseason, had a nice year with the Winnipeg Jets, kind of a breakout year, but he's going to be counted on to play more games, obviously, for the Sabres, a team that finished the regular season off very strongly under Don Granato last season, and they're looking to take the next step. And so it's likely going to be Comrie and Craig Anderson as the tandem. They want UPL to play some more games down in Rochester, although if he has a good camp, you never know. We could be looking at Comrie and Luukkonen, but I am expecting it to be Comrie and Anderson. Obviously, with Anderson being, 40 plus years old, he's not going to be able to go out and play, 40 plus games or whatever. So I'm looking at Eric Comrie as having kind of a breakthrough season and playing more games on a young team on the rise. And so just looking at some of his numbers, Chad, he's got a small sample size in the NHL, just 28 games played, but he's got a winning record. He's 13-10-1. With a .905 save percentage. Last season alone, 10.3 goals saved above expected. So a very good stat line for him as far as that is concerned. And he's only 27 years old. And I should mention as well that 10.3 GSAX was 14th best last season. So, he's kind of entering that prime age in his career. And a comparable for Eric Comrie that I kind of look at is the way that Jack Campbell kind of broke out at that age. And so, he's playing on the Sabres, a team that's only going to get better, a team that on defense has Rasmus Dahlin and Owen Power in front of him. And I think this could be a really nice fit and a sneaky good signing by the Sabres. So I'm looking at 27-year-old Eric Comrie to break out this year. So thoughts on my final hot take?
I personally don't think it's that hot of a take. I actually really like this one. Eric Comrie was a guy for me who was on my kind of wants list as a tandem option for the Maple Leafs. So, he's someone I've kind of had my eyes on for a while because of those numbers that you just shared in a small sample size from last year. So 19 games played, having a .920 save in Winnipeg. Like, Winnipeg was okay last year, but they fell short of, expectations, all things considered. So being able to put up numbers like that and then have, the good underlying advanced numbers as well, that's just great to hear. Like, I love how he has both. And so I think it makes a lot of sense looking forward to this season and expecting him to break out as well. And by the way, I will say, I love how now that we are like 4 or whatever years into the podcast now, that you're finally getting into some advanced numbers, because that's an easy one. The goal saved above expected. It's my favorite one because it's so easy. It assigns a number that, to a goalie, and it's easy to comprehend. And I think it's a really good stat. So kudos to you for using those numbers. But no, man, like Eric Comrie, I think the comparable to Jack Campbell is actually like, that got me. That makes a lot of sense too. A guy who is kind of bounced up and down between the NHL and the AHL and has played in a backup role for a while. The thing with Comrie though is that it's hard to predict goalies in the first place, right? So the thing for Comrie is, how many games is he going to play? And will he be able to sort of maintain the form that he was in last year through a larger sample size? So that's what I worry about a little bit for Comrie, especially playing behind the Sabres, who, they've got a lot of good pieces, but I think we can agree they're not expected to be a playoff team, or,
nope.
I think they're a bubble team though, which, they're definitely improving. But Yeah, I think, it is a hot take expecting Comrie to kind of jump out and have a standout year or a breakout year. But at the same time, over the last few seasons, all signs kind of point to this if he's given a bigger opportunity. So I don't mind that one, Harp. I don't mind that pick at all.